All right, family, good day, good day. We're going to keep it moving. Talking about the ego. Work, work, work. Our ego wants the ideas and the fact that we aspire to do something about them to be enough. Wants the hours we spend planning and attending conferences or chatting with impressed friends to count towards the tally that success seems to require. It wants to be paid well for its time, and it wants to do the fun stuff, the stuff that gets attention and or glory. It's all the ego. Where we decide to put our energy and thoughts decides what we'll ultimately accomplish. Do we sit down alone and struggle with our work? Work that may or may not go anywhere? That may be discouraging or painful? Do we love work, making a living to do work, not the other way around? Do we love practice the way great athletes do? Or do we chase short-term attention and validation, whether that's indulging in the endless search for ideas or simply the distraction of talk and chatter? Do it if your goal is to do it. And before you even know if you're supposed to do it or not, you have to set a goal. Every time you sit down to work, remind yourself, I am delaying gratification by doing this. I am passing the marshmallow test. I am earning what my ambition burns for. You got to bear with me. I'm in Newark, Brick City, so you're going to hear the sirens. It's Sunday morning, afternoon, but you still hear it every day. I am earning what my ambition burns for. I am making an investment in myself instead of my ego. Okay, we hear you. It'll go away. For everything that comes next, ego is the enemy. What is truly ambitious is to face life and proceed with quiet confidence, in spite of the distractions. I'm not going to take the edge off. I am going to be myself, the best version of that self. I am in this for the long-term game, no matter how brutal it might be, to do, not to be. Part 2, success. Success is intoxicating. To sustain it requires sobriety. We can't keep learning if we think we already know everything. We cannot buy into myths we make ourselves or the noise and chatter of the outside world. We must understand that we are a small part of an interconnected universe. On top of all this, we have to build an organization and a system around what we do. One that is about the work, not about us. There you go. I like when he goes here. Always stay a student. Dan talked about the same thing. All of these guys are very humble, and they pretty much are saying the same thing. I'm just tying it all together for you. At every step and every juncture in life, there's the opportunity to learn. And even if the lesson is purely remedial, we must not let the ego block us from hearing it again. Don't block your blessings. Allow those blessings to flow and come in. And they all say the same thing in these books. They're all saying the same thing. I don't know if they're reading the books together and writing them. I'm not mad at them. I might put it in my book because it makes sense. Don't tell yourself a story. Mind you, this is the book called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Dan Graziosi, his book Millionaire Success Habits, was written after this. So maybe he read this and got stuff from it, which is fine. You know, all of this stuff resonates. You must create and implement a standard of performance. What should be done, when and how. Standard of performance is about instilling excellence. The deceptively small things that is responsible for a team's transformation and victory. Those small steps. When you're winning, the ability to listen, to hear feedback, to improve and grow matter more than ever before. Facts are better than stories and image. When we are aspiring, we must resist the impulses to reverse engineer success from other people's stories. I have friends that do this. Fake it till you make it. That's what a lot of people do. And some of them make it, some of them don't. Let me read this again. Ryan Holiday breaks this down very well. When we are aspiring, we must resist the urge and the impulse to reverse engineer success from someone else's story that we've heard or read. Once again, that's Tony Robbins was probably one of the first ones I heard talk about this. Before the ancient ones, they talked about it all the time. The way to do really big things seems to be to start with deceptively small things. Keep your identity small. That's that conscious light within, which is really nothing. It's no thing. That's our identity. That's who we really are. Is that no thing. Not to get into my Buddhist philosophies, but that's what he's talking about. Make it about the work and the principles behind it, not about a glorious vision that makes a good headline. Be careful and leery of labels: entrepreneur, investor, teacher, business owner, 100-unit owner, landlord. These labels put us at odds, not just with reality, but with the real strategy. When the place is really rooted in work, creativity, persistence, and luck. He mentioned the word luck. You can actually prepare for luck and set yourself up to be lucky. Too often, artists who think it was inspiration or pain that fueled their art and create an image around that, instead of hard work and sincere hustle, will eventually find themselves at the bottom of a bottle or on the wrong end of a needle. Damn. Yeah, you them one-hit wonders. Instead of pretending that we are living some great story, we must remain focused on execution and on executing with excellence. We must shun the false crown and continue working on what got us here. Powerful stuff, Ryan. Powerful stuff. Work on the work. Excellence. Strive for excellence. Strive for that greatness, that perfection, by those small, deceptively small steps that you have to take. What's important to you? All of us waste precious life doing things we don't like, to prove ourselves to people we don't respect, and get things we don't really want. Ego leads to envy, and it rots the bones of people big and small. Ego undermines greatness by diluting its holder. Let's be clear, competitiveness is an important force in life. It's what drives the market and is behind some of mankind's most impressive accomplishments. On an individual level, however, it's absolutely critical that you know who you're competing with and why, that you have a clear sense of the space you're in. Very important. Only we know the race we're running. Unless ego decides the only way you have value is if you're better than or have more. Each one of us has a unique potential and purpose. That means that we are the only ones who can evaluate and set the terms of our lives. Far too often we look at other people and make their approval the standard we feel compelled to meet, and as a result squander our very potential and purpose. We cannot do that. We can't measure ourselves against someone else's story or against what we see other people doing. We got to measure ourselves against us, against a certain level of a standard of performance that we set for ourselves. All right? So we're going to stop right there today. Work, work, work. Work on the work. Find joy in the journey. And I will see you on the other side, family. Peace.